Good morning, everyone, or good afternoon or evening, depending on where you are. We are here together with Ramona Munteanu and Dominika Zamara, who is giving us an interview about her career, about the challenges of being a musician. How are you doing today, Dominika?
Hello, Giulio. Hello, Ramona. I'm so happy to be with you. I feel very well because I come back from Poland from music festival. Now I'm in Italy. I'm studying, practicing every day for Estonian festival the next week. So everything is great. How are you, Giulia and Ramona?
Everything fine here. How are you doing, Ramona?
Everything fine here is very, very hot, but I'm fine. I'm practicing and relaxing a little.
Yeah. So we're gonna start with a very simple, just kidding. It's a very hard question. How do you protect your voice, Dominika? You're in a place of singing opera, which is very hard. How do you protect your voice during the trips you take? And how do you deal with the fatigue, this extreme demanding work you do?
This is a beautiful and very important question for every musician, especially for singers, because we are a live instrument. So we have very small vocal cords, and this is our treasure. So we have to use special protection for our instrument. This instrument is my life, is my treasure, is everything for me. So it's very difficult to protect our voice because, of course, I change climate. For example, I was now in Poland for concert. At the beginning, it was extremely cold. It was like 20 to 12 degrees. Temperature in Italy is like 40. So it's big difference. It's not good to change in climate. But I think that, of course, discipline, drinking a lot of water, not very cold, not very hot, not drinking alcohol, of course, no smoking. So discipline in this sense. So protect our instrument to save our instrument. And to be very careful with conditioner air because conditioner air is not good because drying our vocal cords is very bad for us. So absolutely, it's, the worst enemy is conditioner air. So I protect my voice. I using something like scarf or something here. I try to protect some silk material, protect, especially in plane, protect my cords. So it is all I think, and of course maintain good technique because if you have good technique, our voice is always fresh, is in good shape because we are a little bit like a sport people because music is of course it's art. We work with emotion, we give emotion to people, and we receive a lot of beautiful emotions. But it's like a training, like Ramona practicing piano every day. I also practicing my voice, new program, but also it's a muscular work. I working with, I make some Pilates, I make some exercises for diaphragm because it's very important to hold our body in good health and to be very elastic, to be sportsman a little bit. So it's very important.
Very, very nice. I also practice sports and yoga and swimming and everything. I think it's very, very important. The next question for you would be this. What was the hardest adjustment going from student training to singing over a full orchestra? I mean, passing from student to a full career as a singer.
Yeah, this is also very important questions. I think that conservatory and student world is completely different than real artistic world, completely different. And it's a big problem with conservatory in Italy, but everywhere, also in Poland. It's nothing to do with a real stage, nothing to do. It's, of course, great education, whether they have in Poland for example, for theory of music, for piano lessons was wonderful. It's very important voice lessons, especially in Italy. When I won scholarship to Italy in Conservatory in Verona, I had really great teachers for voice teacher, for voice teacher. But unfortunately, we was performing only like 2 times every year. It's nothing. It's nothing because you need to training on the stage. On the stage is different reality. You need to performing whole opera performance or whole recital. So you need to really dose your voice, not giving everything. During concert in school and in conservatorio, in music university, you performing one aria, two arias, and this is really nothing. You need to hold whole recital, 1 hour recital, with great pianists, with different pianists around the world, with different orchestras. So it's completely different world. We have to be very focused. You have to memorizing very huge material, like your pianist. Of course, you're amazing pianist, Ramona, and I know how much you memorizing your beautiful material, very difficult material for pianists, absolutely even much more difficult than for voice. So I absolutely respect you, and I love your work. But we also have to be very disciplined on this stage. So, okay, music school, conservatory, university of music, it's very important for, of course, for education, for instruction, for studying, for preparing us musically in theoretical way for our profession. But it's not enough. We need to practicing. So I really wish to have more practice in conservatory, more concerts for students, more possibility to performing in really theater. Because I know many singers who graduated in a conservatory, but they never stay on the stage. They are not able to manage emotion. They are not able to improve whole program, like a 1 hour program of whole opera, 3 hours opera performing, or even contemporary music. That is very difficult. So it's completely different world. Okay, my first life was studying in conservatory, improving a lot. And second life is when I graduated from conservatory in Italy and I start to staying on the stage around the world and manage my emotion, manage huge programs, because sometimes, remember many years ago when I was graduated, was performing like 2 hours recital. Now people don't have so much attention. Audience wish to 1 hour recital. But I remember many years ago when I was graduated, it was necessary a lot of program to 2 hours, even in Philharmonic Serious Theater. In Poland, I remember 2 hours recital was normal. Now it's 1 hour only. So change, the world is changed. It's very fast. People don't pay attention so much. But of course, it's different world. So my advice for direction of conservatory, university, to give possibility of students to performing more on the stage, because it's very important. It's fundamental for our artistic life.
And you're talking about a very important thing, which is dosing your voice. And how do you work? You said two different words, conservatory and the stage, the real stage. How do you manage to control your anxiety, to put the right amount of emotion on your voice, and being focused is very important when you playing alive. How do you manage this anxiety that comes naturally for a musician?
Wow, this is really a very difficult question, really, but very important for every musician, for every artist, of course, because we are generally very sensitive people. We are very sensitive. We grow up with beautiful music, practicing every day, many hours of every day, with beautiful sounds, with beautiful, word. We create our word when we're studying every time. So I love process. So I still love processing of studying, because it's we create something, some idealistic words where we study, where we're working with our emotion, with beautiful music, with beautiful libretto of composers. Because with opera we have, of course, music, but we have also languages, we have poetry, we have acting. So many different emotions and beautiful emotions, synthesis of different art. Opera is very complete art, I think. I believe in it. So it's not easy when I go on the stage. Always I feel anxious. Always. It's part of me, because maybe I'm very sensitive. Maybe some people don't feel. I feel always like, oh, I'm trembling always. I feel, because I wish to be the best always, to do the best in a technical way, but also in emotional way. And the most important purpose is give people emotion, to have this famous Greek catharsis on the stage. So this is fundamental for me. And unfortunately, sometimes we don't feel well. For example, I can be ill. I can have some illness. Women have some menstrual periods, so it's very difficult. So change, our body change, our mind change. Sometimes I don't know. We have some stressful time. We have some, I don't know. I try to avoid always conversation with not positive people. I always hold beautiful people around me, like you, like Ramona. I need good people around me. So give me good emotion, give me good power on the stage, give me good support. For example, thank you, Julia. I was performing recently in Poland, in my city where I was born. I was so anxious. I trembled before this concert. It was so important to and so difficult for me to performing in my city where I was born because many friends was coming, many people, many different remembering of my childhood that was not very easy. So it's very difficult. But thank you so much for your support me before concert. You write me some nice kind words that give me support, and I was feeling much better, much more harmony on the stage. Thank you. It's very precious thing for me, but always is very difficult. I don't know. It's not rule really. Every time I feel anxious before concert, but when I enter on the stage, I just singing. I just give emotion. I'm just happy, so I don't feel any more stress. Only before concert. Always, it's part of me. It's part of my sensibility. I'm a little anxious like a person, so I try to do always the best. For me, it's big responsibility to go on the stage, to performing, to singing. And also people who are who listening opera and classical music, they very often know a lot about opera. So they listening every high notes, every legato. They know more arias in memory. So it's very dangerous, but it's good. It's good. So it's very high level and big expectation from part of audience. So always it's big stress. But I think it's motivation also for me to be always better, to try to do the best for our ambience. But it's difficult to manage it. Maybe I manage it with Pilates. Before singing, I do some exercises with Pilates, some exercises with my breath. I try to be a little calm. Sometimes I do meditation also. It's helped me a lot. But it's not rule. Ancient, I will be always ancient. I don't know. I can't cancel this part of my profession.
I understand you perfectly. I think the most sensitive people are very, very anxious, but in the same time, the artists that give best, no, give their best, and the famous goosebumps, no, you
Yeah,
cannot
it's
give these
true.
goosebumps if you don't feel them. So I
Yeah,
understand. It's really like this.
yeah. It's true, Ramona. I think that you feel the same on before a stage, yeah, before performing.
Exactly. Yeah. It's always some unknown, unknown emotions, unknown world. Yeah, it's not easy to manage.
Yeah, especially in Italy because the performings we have very late. For example, at 9 o'clock in the evening, special opera and the opera recital is very late. So whole day you have to manage this stress, this anxiety. When you wake up, you're just thinking about it. How will be your body? How your voice responds? How is your state, psychological state and mind? So it's whole day, whole process of preparing.
Yes, you're right. And now another question. How do you handle instead the emotional crush or adrenaline drop after a major production ends? After the concerts, you are still, with the adrenaline on. So how do you manage to completely shut off?
Yes, you're absolutely right. After concert is huge adrenaline. We are feel like powerful. We feel emotion of people. We feel energy of people and also we give a lot of energy for us. It is exchange of emotions. So it's incredible metaphysic moment for me. Art is metaphysic. It's something special, something spiritual, and always we have this beautiful state on the stage and big beautiful connection with audience. So it's very difficult to sleep after concert. After concert, generally we go to the dinner with organization and we still feel this adrenaline. We're talking about new projects. So we're very excited. It's incredible. But when you come back alone in the hotel after performing, it's so difficult to sleep because, for example, I have this thing that I analyzing everything. I'm analyzing my mistakes. I'm very critic for myself. And I think, I take one breath more than I should. I could make more legato. My dynamic should be better. I always find something and I analyzing. Sometimes I listening, also recording, and I analyzing what can be better in the future. So it's very difficult to sleep, very difficult. And I have recently very big problem with sleeping from 2 years because I traveling around the world. Very often I go to US for performing. It's like 6 hours different or 7 hours different, sometimes 9 hours difference between different states, different country, between Europe. So I have always problem with the jet lag. So I discovered that melatonin is very good. Sometimes help me melatonin. I take melatonin before sleeping, but sometimes doesn't help. I don't know what I should ask maybe Julia to some help with sleeping, because sometimes I sleep very bad after concert and it's not possible to sleeping. When you don't sleeping, you don't have a brilliant mind in the next day. It's a problem. So I need to do practicing something that help me for sleeping. Maybe Julia, I will asking you some advice for us.
I would say that all the musicians, I used to tell the musicians that they are addicted to adrenaline. It's like when you're going on stage, you're probably a little bit nervous because you want to perform. As you said, you were playing in your country, and it's very important to perform well because these are your family in a certain way, your flag. So, of course, this demands you a lot of energy and demands a lot of energy on you. And then after it happens, the adrenaline is still there, and you kind of thinking about the next time you're gonna play, right? So I would say that it's very hard, especially because you told us you play generally when you sing an opera, it's in the evenings and it finishes probably at 9, 10, and then it's very hard to keep your mind. Your mind is very active, very working on singing, working the whole body, and then it's hard to just return to a position which is a relaxation. So maybe you will have problems sleeping. Of course, natural medication, all natural medication, good tea is always good because it's totally under control. It's something that happens. Your mind is prepared, your body is ready for the war on stage. Perhaps if you're interpreting a kind of opera that is very dramatic, so you're a kind of an actress, you learn languages, you have to express yourself in another language. So it's a totally not comfortable, let's say. So it's normal that you will be having this adrenaline and the difficulties in sleeping. But then after a certain point, I guess what happens is that your body relaxes and then you can finally sleep. But this is an issue for all the musicians, I guess. And another very important thing I would like to ask you, many young musicians will watch us here. There is always a competition, is a competitive world. And how do you manage to take, for example, in the beginning of your career, to take the auditions, not as a personal thing, rejection, a personal rejection, but how to take it, to manage it well, because surely every musician will be in a process of rejections. If you want to do my best, I did my best, but I wasn't the number one in the contest, or I didn't get the job. How do you, what recommendations could you give to a beginner musician in this case?
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's very difficult because it's very, how you say, absolutely, in very wisdom way. It's very competition. It's big competition between a musician. It's very few space. Especially in opera theater, for example, sometimes it's audition for a specific opera like Don Giovanni, and they need only one Donna Anna, one Donna Elvira, and one Zerlina, so only 3 female roles, and so many women in together, great singers, maybe 100 wonderful singers, and start to be a very big competition. But I think it's audition is not verification of our quality. Absolutely, I understood it, and especially now audition become like fake words. Sorry for my expression, but it's true. It's a fake because audition it's not correct very often. Very often in judgment competition, some professors have own students there, own students, so they're recommended pushing their students. So I don't believe in a correct word in audition word. It's a very rare pure word. So don't worry about it, because it's not a real word, and it's not your real quality. it's something fake, somebody has a friend of politician and this kind of people, somebody has professors, so it's very bad. I don't believe in auditions. I, I I did some auditions at the beginning of my career. Yes, I remember that in Milano I received first part of soprano in Requiem of Mozart, but it was a very correct audition. Conductor make this audition, but he invited just like 3 sopranos for this role of soprano solista in Requiem of Mozart. And after this audition, he chose 2 sopranos for different production. It was very correct. Everybody was very nice. I never met this conductor before, so everything was correct. But this kind of audition is very few, very few. I think the best audition is, and I had the best audition during my concerts. I'm very lucky person somehow. I believe in angels' words, also in the spiritual words that protect me. Very often during my concerts, for example, in US, I was performing, so I was on the stage, I give emotion, I give the best of myself. And very often my concert was important conductor. For example, what happened for Carnegie Hall? I was performing in, I remember New York, for New York composer Soulful, world premiere of this contemporary beautiful composition. And my dream was performing in Carnegie Hall. And one conductor from Carnegie Hall was in my concert. I never met him, never. And after concert, he goes to me. He told me, beautiful voice. I like this quality. And he told me I will be performing in Carnegie Hall some Mozart arias and some world premiere. So I need soprano like you for this world premiere of contemporary music. So in my life was happened this kind of audition during my concert. I think it's the best to have many concerts, and during concerts always someone important was will coming, like conductor. Like another time was happened to me. I remember I was performing in Dallas. I was performing a big concert with Chinese conductor Tomasz Chen, and also in my concert was present one Turkish guy. He was organizer of huge concert in Lincoln Center in New York with 120 elements of orchestra, huge concert. And this guy was listening my voice. And after that, he go to me, he write also to my manager, and he invited us for concerts. So most of my auditions works in this way. Auditions when you have to pay for auditions, special when because students don't have so much money. It's difficult for students. It's very difficult at the beginning. Everybody have to fighting with financial at the beginning. It's very, even someone has very rich family, but it's very rare, I think, in the musical world. So if you don't have money and you have to still paying 100, 200 euros sometimes for audition, and audition is just fake, it's very bad. It's very sad because you're paying maybe the last money, you have hope for singing somewhere, and they only use you. I had also this situation when I was very young. I remember I was graduating in conservatory, and one famous singer, she make like audition, but audition was lessons with her. I remember that she charged like 100 euros for lessons, and after these lessons, maybe she organized you concert. So my dream was going to her, to performing with her. I don't say the name, okay? I remember the last 100 euros in my pocket because I was student. I was graduated, but I was still, yes, like a student, not very rich. So I had 100 euro. I was thinking, okay, I will spend this money for eating for the next days, or I going to this woman. So I chose, I was not rational. I go to this woman for lessons. I take 100 euros. This lessons was nothing. Sorry, it was, I was 1 hour. It was really nothing for me. It's, we had completely different kind of voices because she was coloratura. I was like dramatic soprano. So it's very difficult, completely different voices. And she would like to, she told me, oh, you are coloratura. So she used for me her technique because many singers judge you second your instrument, but my instrument was completely different. So it's completely, I lost the last money for nothing. And it was very sad. I was very upsetting. I remember I take the last bus and I didn't have quite money for bus. I was traveling without, yes, it was I risky also, but I think every student have this kind of problem. But always, so I lost this money, I lost hope. It was very sad for me. I was crying when I come back at home. But fortunately, God always helped me, always. And I received a call from one conductor. He told me, "Oh, would you like to go to make concert? It's 500 euros to take." So I was so happy. Always, these angels help me. So please, young students, young singers, don't believe in these auditions. Sometimes can be something good, but generally, when you have to pay your last money, people very often use you. Sorry, I'm very honest. Okay.
How do you preserve your individual artistic identity within a strict funk system? Especially in an opera, or when you have to do with the management or with many, many people, and it's not easy to maintain your artistic identity.
Yes, I know it's very difficult, especially now where the word when the words become very commercial. Unfortunately, sometimes this financial way of connection with politician is more important than the really art. It's very sad. But I believe in one true. This is my individual true. You have to be yourself. If you are yourself, if you have your value, I have Christian value from the beginning because my mom gave me this Polish tradition, and it's helped me. It's preserved me, my personality, my value. I will never use the how to say the short way for arriving somewhere. Never, never. At the beginning of career, some singers or pianists can have some proposal from politician. I never did it. Never. My way was very, very long. Really, very long. I'm not young anymore, but I feel young on the stage. Okay, this is important. But my way really was very difficult. I never had in my family politician connection of this kind of friends. And so everything what I do was very hard work, and believe in my value, my Christian value, to be good for other people, never using a short way for arriving somewhere, never, never. I think that really art have to have suffering. I suffering a lot because at the beginning really I didn't have money. I have to studying a lot. I didn't have connection in Italy. I arriving here with a scholarship. So the scholarship helped me at the beginning. They give me a house for students. I was studying with good teachers in the conservatory in Verona. I had this great opportunity. It was wonderful opportunity for me to have possibility studying in Italy. And Italy is like a country of bel canto, so the most important place for studying opera, of course. So I'm very grateful. And I met also beautiful people on my way. For example, Verona, I met Maestro De Mori. He was a wonderful conductor. He was just very, when I met him, he had like 85 years old, but he was pianist of Maria Callas. He was accompaniment of Maria Callas. He was amazing. He was listening my voice and he told me, "Oh, come to me, to my house for lesson." And every day he give me extra lessons with partitura for free. I don't paying nothing. And his wife also preparing for me foods and dinner. So I met these angels on my way. I'm very grateful. Maestro De Mori, he passed away, unfortunately. I'm very sorry, but I feel him inside of me because he really helped me. I was debut with him also in La Boheme. He believed in me, but he was never happy. He was screaming, "Oh no, you make a piano, but Verdi would like to make pianissimo. You are terrible. You are nothing." So I always crying when I going from this lesson. But it was free lessons. He did never charge me money, nothing. I was crying. I was come back to a home of students. I was thinking, "Oh no, so I'm nothing. I will be never singing." But later, after 2 days, he calling me, "Come on, we have concert. You have to come. You have to singing." So he really believed in me because he dedicated me 1 hour of quite every days free lessons with partitura, with vocal technique also. So I met these people who really believe in me without nothing, and help me with my career. So I preserve my value, my artistic way, and I'm very grateful. And for sure, because I believe in energy. When I will have possibility in the future, I will have help also young people who don't have money, who don't have possibility. I think that we have to give also our energy because we receive, but we have to give also. So So when you can help other people, especially young singers that don't have easy life.
Yeah. What you said is very important. Is art for the sake of art, not ideologies, not being a political person.
Yeah.
The idea is to share with the people the true art, what you can do with your body, which is your instrument, and sharing emotions. Is this the real mindset that you would recommend for a transition from a student into a professional? Is this the mindset you would recommend?
So it's very hard work. For sure, we have to have discipline, studying a lot of, because I believe in one thing. We receive this special gift from God, talent. We receive this talent, so we are just very lucky. We are also lucky because we had this possibility of studying. It's just a lot of with good teachers, with good professors. So we are just lucky. But from become student and artist on the stage, we have to still studying. After conservatory, after graduated in conservatory, we have to still studying a lot, even more, do a lot of repertoire. For example, my secret is that I sing it from Baroque until contemporary music. Not only Baroque, not only classical music, not only romantic, but every kind of style of music which is good for my voice, of course, because this is very important to keep my voice in good form. But I think you have to be very open mind for different musical style. Baroque music is very helpful. For example, at the beginning of my career, I was performing very heavy stuff like Puccini. I was debut with La Boheme, so very difficult opera, dramatic opera. It was a lot of for young singer. But after this debut with Puccini, one conductor called me. He told me, "Oh, I would like to invite you to performing Vivaldi." I was thinking, "Oh no, Vivaldi is not for me. I'm big voice of Vivaldi." But he was so incredible, this Maestro Fumei, that I'm also very grateful. He told me, you can sing also Vivaldi, Pergolesi, Galuppi. You can sing this beautiful Baroque music, and this music help you with how to say, discipline, Baroque coloratura, different kind of style, different kind of aesthetic, musical aesthetic. So I believe, okay, I will try. I was going to this conductor. He gave me some lessons also because he was very like old school man. And me and also mezzo soprano was going to hear many rehearsal. I lived, I remember, in Verona, but he lived in Treviso. It's very far from there. So like 2 times every week, I going to hear also for free preparation for this Vivaldi. And he gave me very good advices for my voice, how to manage Vivaldi, how to manage Baroque music. So I started to have a very open mind. After that, I met also another maestra. She was professor of Salzburg University, Mozarteum. She told me, your voice can be good also for Mozart. So I opened my mind for Mozart. And I understood that Mozart is very important for me and helped my voice to be in with good technique. So I'm very open mind for different kind of music. Recently, I performing a lot of world premiere of contemporary music. So this is good advice for young students of voice or graduated students to be open mind for different style. You have to studying a lot from Baroque until contemporary music. Absolutely, you can't close your mind that I will be singing only Verdi, only Puccini, not existing. And this kind of thinking don't give you work. You have to be very open and studying very hard. This is, I think, studying very hard. This is the most important thing.
Oh, amazing. I completely agree with you. We have to study every day. Sometimes we
Yes.
have to go in vacation and close the instrument, but most of the time we have to practice. Now we go to a more concrete question about finding concerts and about the concrete life of a musician. Because most musicians complain about not having enough concerts, right? Instead, you have a huge amount of concerts. So could you share your secret with us? how did you manage to have so many concerts? And you told us already about your angels, but I would like to get deeper into this.
Yes, I think that I was born for, I believe from forever that I was born for singing. It's my mission, it's my life, my profession. So without staging, I will be not survive. I can't live without stage, without singing. Not only practicing at home, but because I practicing quite every day. But sometimes, of course, I have pausa because I need for vocal cords. But mostly, quite every day, I practicing a lot because it's very important. But I always believe that I'm part of the stage of music world, and I need this expression of the stage. It's part of me. So if I need something, I don't know. God help me always. Really, I receive what I need. I believe, but very strongly believe what I wish during the life. How I believe in Carnegie Hall. It was my dream, and always dream comes true if I really believe and working very hard. So I think the the most important thing and very rational and true is studying really very hard. So how I said just in the last question, studying very hard different kind of music. Because, for example, sometimes some people call me, for example, some tenors, could you have a lot of concerts, I don't have nothing, could you help me? So I remember that I had possibility that the organizer called me, he told me, okay, I need you, and I need also tenor for Schubert leader. But in German, of course, original. So I called this tenor. I told him, "Oh, if you like, organization need also tenor, but for Schubert. We had 2 weeks for studying in German. It's beautiful music." He told me, this tenor answered me, "You're crazy. I don't sing in German language. I don't sing in this kind of stuff. I don't sing you." So he was quite angry with me. So if you are not open mind for different languages, for different style, I know that this tenor would like to sing only Puccini and Verdi, but in this way he will never working. So I think this is a secret, to be open mind for every kind of style. You need to sing in Baroque, you need to sing in Mozart, you need to sing in bel canto if you have a voice for bel canto. And I sing a lot of contemporary music, and this gives me a lot of work. Recently, I made many world premiere. It's a really hard work. I need to studying like crazy because I have, for example, I don't know, 2 weeks to improve very difficult music for world premiere and only to rehearse with pianists or with orchestra. This is nothing for contemporary music. So I think this is a secret that I singing a lot of different style, and this give me possibility to work. I think this is secret.
So you were
Okay.
ready when the opportunity came, right? It's like prepare yourself for the universe, open yourself, be a great professional, so the people who are gonna see
Exactly.
you being prepared for everything, for Mozart Baroque period, for anything that you can sing. And also the importance of the language, singing in any languages that is possible. You cannot do only what you want, right? In any professions, there are some bureaucracy, some parts that you have to study a lot to be prepared. So when the opportunity comes, you're ready. This is the message, perhaps. I guess Ramona has
Yeah,
a question for you. Yeah.
Exactly. Because also when you have a manager like Dominika has, and one or two, I don't remember, and it was very good that you found a good manager, because we were talking that it's not easy in this way, in this world, in these days, to find a correct person and that gives you concerts and everything, but you have to be ready. You cannot say, oh, this I don't want to do, this other I don't want to do. And the truth is this, I think that all music is beautiful. I mean, when you say that you don't like something or you're not good in something, it's because you didn't try enough. You didn't get deep enough into that stuff, into that music, into that technique. So I think I agree with Dominika. I think that all music is beautiful. All classical music is beautiful, and also contemporary music, if you have enough patience to get what the essence no of that music is still something great. Yeah, so maybe the last question, if you could tell us more about your project Chopin and Bellini, your last leader project, I think you also have a CD of this music, and what are your future plans?
Oh yeah, thank you for this question. So important for me. Uh, it's like my child, really. This project is my child because I love Chopin so much. It's my genius, absolutely. I love his piano solo concertos. I love his solo pieces. So Ramona, yeah, one day I will come for your concert. You will be playing for me Chopin. I will be crying and listening. I love so much. It's incredible. For me, it's absolutely genius. When I remember when I immigrated from Poland to Italy, when somebody was playing Chopin solo piano preludia or notturnas or balladas, I was crying. For me, I still feel it because it's for me. I'm a little patriotic, of course. I live in Italy many years, but Poland I have also in my heart. Like for you, Romania is a wonderful country.
Yeah.
So we have sentimental for our original country always. So Chopin for me represents my country, my love for my country, my sentimental, the deepest emotion, romantic emotions. So I love him so much. So my dream was make popularization of his music, especially Lieder, Opera 74, 74, because not many people knows this beautiful music. Chopin wrote 19 lieders, Polish songs, with Polish language, with Polish romantic poets, wonderful, very deep poets, for voice and piano. Beautiful music. I love it so much. So it's my mission from many years. I recording CD with Maestro Franco Moro many years ago, good pianist from Padua, and we was presenting this CD in Accademia Teatro La Scala. It was our first recital there, and people love it. And they, after this recital, people invite us around the world. We was going to performing in Spain, in Poland, in Italy, many places. So this is a beautiful project. And I understood that people very often, they love also Bellini and Italian bel canto. So I understood that it was a very deep friendship between Chopin and Bellini. Chopin never wrote opera, but he loved Italian bel canto. He loved melody. He loved beautiful singing. He also fell in love with singers. He loved sing Polish singers. So it was inspiration for him. It was sentimental. His music is also for piano solo. It's very melodic. I can singing it. It's so beautiful line, vocal line. So it's amazing inspiration, and it's a deep inspiration between Chopin and Bellini. When I listening, for example, Bellini, I feel sometimes Chopin chords because Chopin create whole own harmony, personal harmony. It's very famous Chopin chords, and I feel it in music of Bellini. And in Leader of Chopin, I feel line of bel canto, Bellini, bel canto. So it's beautiful relationship between these beautiful composers, romantic bel canto composers, Polish and Italian. And this is my personal project that I traveling around the world. I performing very often. I was performing in Mexico in the Philharmonic Hall. I was performing US many times. I was performing even in Canada in Toronto Symphony with symphony orchestra because conductor told me, "Oh, it's a beautiful project. I would like to arrange for a chamber orchestra this music." So I was performing this leader Chopin Opus 74 with orchestra. So and for sure in the future we'll perform it again. I hope with you, Ramona, because maybe we
Yes,
can.
me too. I really hope. Yeah. I
You're
also
amazing.
love Chopin and Bellini, and my child is Carl Fields, which was the best student of Chopin. So we have a lot in common.
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm waiting for this moment. So very welcome for this concert, and I hope for our future concert with Ramona. You are amazing pianist, so we can unite
Thank you so much.
together.
Would be
Yeah.
amazing. This would be amazing. Maybe we could come together in Brazil to meet Giulio finally.
That would
I
be
will be beautiful.
fantastic. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's my dream. Let's send the
Yeah,
good
let's do
vibration.
it.
Yeah, I believe.
Exactly.
If we really believe, and we really wish everything can happen.
That's
Great.
amazing. I thank you very much for being here with us, with Ramona and I. That was an amazing interview as always. And congratulations for your beautiful work. Thank you, Dominika Zamara, and thank you, Ramona.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Giulio. Thank you, Dominika.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Ramona, wonderful artist, and wonderful Giulio, wonderful our mentor, our psychological mentor. Thank you so much for beautiful advice. Thank you for this opportunity of express ourselves during this wonderful interview. Thank you for your very deep and beautiful questions. So see you soon. I hope in Brazil or in Italy.